especially you. Hello everyone, my name is Megan MacDonald, and I'm here today to present to you my tribute speech. For my tribute speech, I decided to choose someone who is compassionate, who is inspirational, and someone who has changed the world for the better. The least I can do is speak out for the ones who cannot speak for themselves. This was a quote by Jane Goodall, an English anthropologist, ethologist, and dedicated animal rights activist who is otherwise known as the woman who redefined man. She is most known for her 45-year study on primate behavior in Goodall National Park in Tanzania. Ever since she was a young girl, she has been fascinated with animals, always going outside and making extensive notes and sketches and reading up on ethology and zoology. Also, she has always dreamed of going to Africa and has always wanted to see the chimpanzees and other African animals in their natural habitat. An anthropologist and friend named Louis Leakey noticed this passion and invited her to come research chimpanzees in Goodall National Park, completely ignoring the fact that she had no college degree. So after saving up for a few months by waitressing, an excited Jane Goodall packed up her bags and headed into the jungle. A lot of scientists looked down on Leakey for hiring such an inexperienced woman to go into the rugged African wilderness alone researching chimpanzees, but this difference is what made Jane's research so unlike other researchers. In the 1960s, beliefs about primates were very different than how they are today, and that is mainly because of Jane Goodall and Louis Leakey. Louis Leakey was known for believing that chimpanzees were the second most intelligent animal in the world, and this was a very uncommon belief during that time. When Jane first arrived in Goodall, she feared that the lives of the chimpanzees would remain a mystery to her. Every time she would get too close, they would just run away, and she treated her more like a threat than as a friend. But after a while, and with persistent effort, she befriended these creatures and was able to record their day-to-day lives in great detail. According to Robin McKee, a writer for the news website The Guardian, Jane's way of researching and interacting with these animals was considered very unconventional at the time in the scientific community. For example, instead of referring to them by number, she gave them names like David Greybird or Fifi. Also, she worked hard to become a part of their family instead of just viewing as a bystander. Jane often mimicked chimp behavior in order to be more accepted by the group, eating some of the same foods or even hanging out in trees. This gave her a more intimate view into the lives of the chimpanzees. As time went on, she became closer to these animals. She came to the realization that much of what she was witnessing went against all traditional conceptions about them. According to PBS.org, most researchers view them as savage, simple-minded beasts, and this, what Jane observed just wasn't that at all. She viewed them as smart, inventive creatures with intricate relationships with each other. Most importantly, she proved previous facts about them to be wrong. Up until Jane's research, it was believed that humans were the only ones who could manipulate materials and create and use tools. But on many accounts, Jane witnessed them making tools out of blades of grass or rocks or sticks. They would manipulate blades of grass in order to get more termites out of the mounds, or manipulate rocks in order to better throw at prey, which takes me to her next discovery. Previously, scientists believed that chimpanzees were vegetarians, but Jane observed them killing and eating animals like bugs, birds, antelopes, and even baboons. Matter of fact, on one occasion, she witnessed acts of cannibalism. Lastly, she discovered that chimpanzees have complex social systems. She even noted how affectionate they were. They have ritualized behaviors and a distinct communication system, including 20 recognizable sounds. They also have a wide array of emotions and have close familial bonds. She even noticed how affectionate they were with each other, embracing one another for comfort or even hugging and kissing each other like humans do. On the other hand, she also learned that chimpanzees have an inclination for violence and for anger, just like humans do. All in all, her discoveries determined that chimpanzees are more like humans than we previously thought. Her research changed the scientific community's closed-minded viewpoint on them and also was considered a milestone in evolutionary thought. Since her research in Goodall, she has done a lot to help the animals and the environment. For years, Goodall worked to end cruelty. Stop. both in their habitat and in the lab. She has worked alongside the Tanzanian government in order to prevent further deforestation. Also, she created a global community program called Roots and Shoots that helps young people participate in conservation efforts. Now, in nearly 100 countries, Roots and Shoots has gathered together over 150,000 people who are currently working on humanitarian and environmental issues within their communities. In addition, Jane founded the Jane Goodall Institute, which works hard to prevent further decline in the chimpanzee population and includes sanctuaries for chimpanzees who were illegally caught for food or for pets. She has worked hard to help African communities understand just how intelligent these creatures are and why they should be treated humanely. According to biography.com, Jane has been given awards and honors for the work that she has done, including the Gold Medal of Conservation, the Paul Getty Wildlife Conservation Prize, the Schweitzer Medal of the Animal Welfare, and has also, most importantly, been named United Nations Messenger of Peace. Like she once said, it isn't only human beings who have personality, who are capable of rational thought and emotions like joy and sorrow. Coming to grips with this will help resolve ethical problems regarding how we use and abuse animals and the environment. Thank you.